So he started off on this speech really much in the same as what we'd heard from him at the Notre Dame, very inclusive language, saying that he's been listening to the people. He's been going around the country at these town hall meetings, and that he feels like people feel like they're no longer taken care of by the government. At one point during this speech, he was saying that our citizens feel like they are being forgotten. He was talking about the disparity between the life of those people that live in the city and those that live in rural settings, and talking about the disparity in pay. So really trying to show people here that he has been listening. Now, just before we've come on air here, he was starting to outline those 4 big pledges that he's saying. The first one being that he wants to see a big change in French democracy. More power given to local mayors. In France, the mayors are very there's quite a lot of them, I should say. They've got a big constitutional role here in that they take care of a lot of departments in France, a lot more than, say, the United Kingdom. There are hundreds of mayors, of which he's been meeting quite a lot of them across the country, so he wants to give them more power and simplify the rules for them as well. That was only the first part that we've heard just before I've come on air here, but we are expecting, as you're saying there, some tax cuts for the middle classes, some small pensions reforms. There's also talk of him closing down an elite school, which is a feeder school into French administration for the government. We know this because the speech was leaked last week after it was cancelled at the very last minute because of the fire at Notre Dame.
Oliver, what's the likely response we're going to hear from those involved in the so-called Yellow Vest protests?
Well, what was interesting during the speech so far, Macron saying that he posed the question, have we gone down the wrong route over the past 2 years of his presidency? And then immediately answering his own question by saying, well, no, I don't believe that we have, because our economy is starting to grow. The results of my actions are starting to be seen. Neighbouring countries haven't got such a good economy as ours. And I think that for the Yellow Vest protests will really show that in their eyes, he hasn't changed a lot. He can say that he has listened to the people all that he wants, but deep down, he believes in his economic reforms. And really, if he was to come out with some very big announcements today, the Yellow Vest protesters that I've been speaking to will say, a sheep can't change. There's nothing else that he can really do, and whatever he does do will just look fake. So for some Yellow Vest protesters, they will say that there is nowhere near enough change that they wanted. For others, it might appease them. It's a very difficult role that President Macron is trying to go through at the moment. On the one hand, assuage those Yellow Vest protesters, but then on the other hand, keep his supporters happy, because you've got to remember, not everybody supports the Yellow Vest protest movement here. Their numbers have been dwindling greatly since November 2018 when they first took to the streets.
Certainly a difficult position indeed for the French president. Oliver Whitfield-Miocic live to us there.